One question I have is in terms of the AI, is it going to be reactive or will it follow traditional events? Like, is it going to go to Pearl Harbor, or if I kind of give it the opportunity, would it go to Hawaii and do an actual landing on Hawaii instead of Midway?
Well, what I did was I actually added something that got ported back to Warplan Europe. That you could have there's a toggle now that says you want the game to play historical or do you want it to play random. So the AI has random plans, especially the Axis,
Ooh, nice.
especially the Japanese. So if you play with a random plan, you don't know if they're going to go after India, if they're going to go after China, if they're going to go after Australia, or go after Pearl Harbor. Um,
I love that.
so that's how I said it. But there is a historical route. Now along the historical route doesn't mean they're going to do everything foolishly like the Japanese did or the Allies did. They would do what's intelligent, within the realm of the scope of the game. So, like for example, in the historical setting, the Japanese play a little bit more defensive. They get their defensive ring and then they try to kind of hold it. Um, they do have a plan for getting objectives, but that's their main thing, and they do react. So there are key major ports that are used for repairs and supply, and the AI, yeah, they do react to your fleet movements. I don't want to give much away for players that are going to be playing it on, they'll figure out how to beat it. But as there's no AI that could beat a human, especially not a game this complex. So you could increase the experience level, but in the historical levels, it's can't do it. So I don't even believe was it World in Flames doesn't even have an AI because it was so hard to do the World in Flames computer game.
I think that comparisons with this game and Gary Grigsby's War in the Pacific will be unavoidable, and I'm not even sure. Maybe that was a target goal, was to have some more modern iteration upon that. I know that game is also published by Matrix, so kind of the same group. So are you able to access any of the are you able to chat with Gary and the 2x3 dev team whenever you have ideas, or do
No,
you
no,
interact with them at all?
no, I do not. I haven't. No, I haven't spoken to them. No, I think the games are vastly different. So while War in the Pacific, I played a little bit of it and I've seen it, a lot of detail. They get into very specific things. Mine is a little bit more flexible. Like I believe they have a logistics system that you have to advance and take bases and stuff like that, and you can't do certain things. And it's hard to supply this or hard to supply that. But I want to make the game fun too. I don't want to handicap players and make them think about micromanagement details on supply and do this and that and the other. I want them to have fun with the game. So it's far less complex than that. I mean, it probably will be compared, but there aren't many Pacific War games out there, are there? I think there's is it Storm of Steel? Steel Storm? I don't remember who it is. There was another Pacific game a number of years ago, but on this kind of level, and then there was Strategic Command Pacific, a Pacific Theater, and I think that's it. I don't know of many other like this, so I don't think mine's relatively close to War in the Pacific. Their level of detail is just absolutely amazing.